Most of us live audio folk don't like having to worry about all the administrative back-end and scheduling stuff. But if you're a freelancer, you have to do it. You're a company of one. You don't have a production company taking care of it. You need to know what's going on at all times, keeping track of your projects and staying on top of things. And folks like hiring organized people so they don't have to remind them or babysit them. So it is really important to have your stuff together. So that's why I fell in love with Notion, my favorite tool for project management and really touching every aspect of my audio life. I plan all my content for YouTube here. I have my audio toolkit listed with Notion. I keep track of all my projects that I'm on. It's a really powerful tool. So today I'm going to walk you through the basics of the software and how I put it into play. And we're actually going to put together a database template today that you can use. So I had that available for you at the link below in my audio toolkit. So you could put Notion to work for you starting today for free. It really has a ton of functionality for free. So don't pass this up. And I really think it's going to be a super helpful addition to your software suite and workflow. Let's first start with what Notion is, its features, its pricing. Then I'll show you how it works. And then we'll walk through step by step how to build a gig dashboard together out of some of Notion's features. So Notion's homepage is notion.so. Tagline, one workspace, every team, or more than a dock or a table. Customize Notion the way you do. And I really love this software because it does a lot of things really well. I used to have maybe 5 or 6 different software suites that I had to stitch together to get to do what I wanted to do. And now Notion has eliminated most of them. The vast majority of my workflow out of specialized audio software tools is Notion and the Google Suite. And it does a whole lot of what I need to do. So Notion, what I can say, it's like taking a Google Doc, Wikipedia, Airtable, Google Sheets, and Trello and shoving it all together into one piece of software. So yes, it is a productivity or project management software. It's used for a lot, but it can be used for a ton of different use cases. And I'm going to show you how it works today and how I think you can use it to help make your digital life a little bit more organized within audio. So how much does it cost? You can get started for free, and it has a whole lot of functionality for free. It's not one of those ones where they just give you a little nibble and then you have to charge for it. You can do the vast majority of what I'm showing you, actually everything I'm showing you today, for free. The only thing I think you're going to run into is the file upload. So if you want to upload files to Notion bigger than 5 megabytes at a time, that's going to be the hang up. You don't have as much page history. And then if you want to invite collaborators, you can only invite up to 10. Other than that, if you don't exceed that, I think you can run with free for a long time. I use Plus because I use a little bit more of the guest features to work with other people. But again, it's only $8 per month billed annually or $10 per month, which is really affordable in my book. Here I've got Notion open on my Mac. It's available for PC as well as iOS and Android, and you can also run it in a web browser. So I like that you can have 5 different platforms that you can run it on, and it all just syncs to the web. So if I change it here, it's going to change on my phone. Standard functionality, but just want to make that clear. So if you were to fire up a new Notion workspace, this is what it looks like. Just a quick peek. I made a new one just so you could see, but this is mine. Here that I usually end up working from. So I've got a bunch of to-do lists and a bunch of different dashboards. I can look at all my business stuff. Anyway, you can get super nerdy with this, but we're going to start really simple today and walk through the basics. So this is Notion's own page on getting started. So here are the basics. Click anywhere and just start typing. Yes, you can do that. You can hit / to see all types of content you can add. So headers, videos, subpages. I click down here, hit / so I can go here to heading. That's H1, that's the big one. Heading 1. I can go down to heading 2. I can make those. And let's see the other one, video. So /video. This is a / command. I can embed it from YouTube. I can upload a video here and you can paste the link and it's going to put it right there, which is very cool. So all of this is within a block. I can see here that each of these are have these own little 6 dots, which I can grab and move around. So that's what it's talking about here. See the little 6 dots, click and drag around to move this line. Anyway, sorry, I added that earlier. So each of these headings, each of these to-do lists that I have here, the little video embed, that is all a block. I can also highlight any text and use the menus that pops up to style your writing however you like. So they have a lot of different ways. I can highlight here and it'll pop up just as it said. I can hit bold, italicize, underline, and strike through. So that's fun. I can also color it however I want. So here I'm going to put yellow. Anyway, you can style the text however you want. On the left, click New Page at the bottom of your sidebar to add a new page. Click New Page, and here's the title at the top. And it's going to put it here on this left-hand side within my workspace. I can also click Templates on your sidebar and get started with pre-built pages. These are really cool. Go to Template. So if you want to just see how it's done and get started, you have to-do lists, projects and tasks. You can have meetings, you can have docs. So right now you're seeing some databases, which we'll get to in a little bit later. But they have a really great library of templates for you to pull from. And also you can publish them yourself and share your templates. So the Notion community outside of those who work for Notion have shared a lot, which is really, really cool. So they've done a good job here to help you get started. Within this page, I can also share it to the web so anyone else can see it. So up here in the top, I can hit share and share to web. I can turn that on. And now I can hit copy link. I put that in a web browser. Can click here. And boom, anyone else can see it. So I could send this and look at it. Right now, they're not able to edit it because they don't have a Notion account, but now they can see what's going on. So I like that I can now change it here on this page, make a change at the bottom. And now I hit refresh and here it is. It pulls in the data. So I like that it's up to date all the time. I can send someone a link once and they have the page, and whatever changes I make, they are going to see. But you can always go to history here at the top and see the changes if you wanted to go back for whatever reason. So far, we've looked at our total workspace that has all of our pages. We've looked at blocks, which have different types of ways of holding text or images or to-do list. They can make functions for us. But I believe in my mind, the biggest functionality of Notion, its most powerful feature, are its databases. So we're going to add a page, which can be a database in and of itself, or I can have a database embedded on a page. So we can cover that a little bit later, the differences here. But if we hit new page, and I'm going to go here to database and hit table. Right now, it's going to have no data source. We need to fill it with something. We're not going to worry about pulling anything that's already built in here. We're just going to click new database. So what is it? We're going to make an example here of a gig database. What if I want to keep track of the shows that I'm on? And we're going to see the different functionalities that come here. You can think of this like an Excel spreadsheet, at least here in this view. We can view the data in different ways. But here at the top, the columns are what we call properties. So every database, every row in it has to have a name. So let's give it a gig name. Let's say we have a, Denmark Festival. Great. And then we have another gig that is the Mercy Charity Ball. I just finished that one up. Then we have another one that is we're going to Coachella, right? So that's the name here that corresponds in this row. And then each of the columns, I can start to add properties or different data points about it. So the gig name we're going to have here. What about if we change this to, well, I want to see, is it happening right now? Is it happening later? This is a status column. So I'm going to click here, and the type is multi-select, but right now I see all these different types of properties we can have. We can have a text, a number, a select, multi-select, status, date, person, files and media, a checkbox. Anyway, you get the point. We can see lots of different ways we can have something in this column. First, I want to have a status. I'm going to click that, and it'll automatically populate for us. Is this not started? Is it in progress? Or is it done? And it categorizes them to do, in progress, and complete. So we can leave these here and say, hey, this one hasn't started yet. I'm in progress. I'm on this show right now. And this one, I could say, hey, it's already done. But let's just say we haven't started this one yet. So I'm going to rename this, click on the top and hit status. And now we have a status column. And I can click and reorder these, which we'll do in a little bit. I can also click, I want to have a select, and let's name it client. So now I can choose from a list of clients. So this Denmark Festival, let's just call him John Smith Productions, Mercy Charity Ball. This was with a VOD3 event production in Coachella. Dave Rat hired us to come help. So these are our clients. So now if I click, I have a list of clients I can pull from and pull that in here. I put Date Rat and click here, and Dave Rat, make sure he's not mad at me. He's got a YouTube channel too. Now if I wanted to add the gig dates, click here, go to date. This one is February 20th. Click here on end date through the 24th. I can copy and paste down here, but change these where that one is the week after the 24th through March 2nd. And now this one is March 20th through 24th. Great. So now I have the dates for my gig. I can also say, hey, are these local or travel? So another select, name it. This one is travel. This one's local. This one's travel. So I can have that and know that about my gig. I can also have estimated pay. So this is now incorporating the number. Property, I'm going to change the number format to US dollar. So I'm going to say, hey, this one is the 20th through 24th. That's 4 days at $600 a day. So that's 2,400. This is February 24th through March 2nd. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So 600 times 7, that's 4,200. All right, I'm making some nice cash here. And this one is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, I think. So it's another 4,200. So now the powerful thing in a database, I can go here to the bottom. You see here it lights up, it says calculate. Hit calculate. I can hit sum. And now I can see the total. So now I can view here, like, how much am I making on each of these 3 gigs? Very cool. We're going to add 2 more properties here to demonstrate what's going on. Maybe I want to see the role. What did I get hired to do? So we want to do select and rename it role. And now let's say A1 on that one, A1 on that one. Actually, let's change it to A2 and then SC for systems engineer. So now I can see that. Lastly, we're going to say, hey, this is important. I want to do a checkbox, and has this been invoiced or not? I want to put it over here at the beginning so I can see, hey, have I invoiced for this gig or not? So to have all this data about each of the 3 gigs, whether invoiced or not is a checkbox, its status, the client, the date, is it local or travel, how much am I getting paid in my role on the gig? So what's awesome is now I can go to 2 powerful things about databases. I can either filter or sort. So if I want to sort them by, have I invoiced them or not? And so if I check this, it's going to move to the bottom everything that I've invoiced, or I can reverse the direction of it. So as that's descending. Maybe I don't want to do that one anymore. Is it maybe by date? So now I can do them by ascending date. So I can always have it in date order so I see what's going on. So now it doesn't matter if it's invoiced or not. I can also stack these. So I can sort it by date, then also by status. So I'll probably put status first, like, is this in progress? Maybe let's do descending here and then date ascending. So I want to always see at the top of my database what's in progress and what's not started. So that's with sort. I can also filter things. So I can hit filter. I can filter by, let's say, has this been invoiced or not? So invoiced is unchecked. So if that is unchecked, it will only show me it. So if I check it, now it goes away. So where did it go? Well, we will find out. This is in this database, this is this view of it. I can have multiple views of this same data. So it's just called table. I'm going to rename it, just say all data. So this is everything unfiltered and unsorted. So I'm going to have it here. Or maybe let's just name it raw. It's probably a little bit better. But now I'm going to duplicate this. And now I'm going to say, I want to say local day rates. Well, how do I do that? I can filter this. So now that local or travel only says local. Okay, so I can say, hey, these are all local, but I don't want to see my projects that are local and that are done. I only care what's local and coming up. So now I can add another filter. Let's do, is this status is not complete. Boom. So if I finish the show, it would hide, right? I would not be able to see it in this database view. Let's do one more. I'm just going to call this finished or completed shows in a table view. And I'll filter that by saying status complete. So right now it's not here, but if I go to local day rates, I looked at local and I completed this gig, it would go away, but here it would now show up under completed shows. So you can see, you can start to build out this dashboard, if you will, of being able to see what's going on. So if I go to this new page, it's empty. Let's call this my gig dashboard. The last really cool feature is this gig database lives on its own. It's on its own page, but I can also mention it other places and create a linked view. So hit slash and hit slash create. So linked view of database. I can now click and say, hey, I want to show you what is happening here in this other database. I'm going to now click, and you see this little arrow that's now right here? That says, hey, I'm looking at this one and I'm editing it, but I'm not here on the original place. I'm merely referencing that data. So now it's a linked view. I can actually hit slash create, and I can put in here again if I wanted. So I can have here, so where it's showing these different views of, hey, here's the raw data, here's the local day rates. If I wanted to go here again, and now it's going to say completed shows. So I can have each of these three views of the database sitting right here, and I can add in, I can copy an existing view, have them all sitting right here. So anyway, I don't want to overwhelm you with too much functionality here, but all that being said, you could see it all in one place and very easily go back and forth between shows. And now that we have this gig dashboard, I can now click on open. Let's go to Coachella. And now each row on the database is its own page, and it's going to keep showing me its original data up here. But now I can make a heading, project info. What about logistics? How about engineering? Now I have each of these headings, and now I can start dragging in stuff to have information about this actual show. So go up here to this past show I was on. Maybe I want to have my console file live here. So now it was in a Google Drive folder, which I could also embed. So if I go to Google Drive, projects, here was it. Me copy a link to clipboard. I can say Google Drive folder, select it, paste the link, and it's now here. And that's, but if I wanted to all just live in this Notion page, I now have the scene I had, which it's, I think it's an XML file or whatever, but I can now go over here and download it if I want. So that's all here. If I wanted to do some pictures of the show, or if I wanted to embed a Google Sheet, or here's a PDF. Let me show you what that looks like. Go here and I can embed my PDF, which was my system report of the show. It's uploading. Now it's got it. I can click, immediately puts it up here in a web page, and I have that right here. So there's lots of different strategies of how you can divide this up, but I wouldn't get too complicated so far, but it's good to know what's happening on these gigs. I can say, got an email asking for my day rate and availability, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to add, and put this all here on this page. But you got to know on your gig dashboard, you can go back here and lay out this data however you want. We covered a lot of ground. I hope this is helpful for you, showing how Notion works and how you can put it to work for you on your show. My name is Michael Curtis. Thank you so much for hanging with me today, getting nerdy with some productivity and project management stuff. I'll catch you next time.